So I saw Sophie Cunningham talk about how she is thrilled to join a supporting role next to Caitlin Clark and that she's playing on a stacked Fever squad, which is the exact attitude all the players on the team need to have because in order for the Fever to achieve the goals that they have in front of them, everyone is going to need to buy into their role. And it's up to Stephanie White to put the best lineups out there, the best lineup combinations, and all of that. I took a stab at projecting what the starting five will be, and it's not a huge leap, but obviously Caitlin Clark's going to be the point guard. Kelsey Mitchell, the shooting guard, the most potent backcourt in the WNBA. I think Dewana Bonner will be the Swiss Army knife kind of player at the three, while Natasha Howard fills that hole that they had at power forward, especially they were lacking somebody who could run the floor, catch, and finish. Aaliyah Boston is the center who doesn't hunt for shots, but can be a key cog on both ends. And then Sophie Cunningham, the first player off the bench to provide lineup versatility and shooting. Either way, there are a lot of options. And that's, what I took a look at on Indiana Fever on SI. You can check the link in the description for the full lineup projection and the bench rotation. I saw the Fever themselves put out this graphic today about tickets, how more tickets have just been released. And you can see that the starting five that I projected right there. I do believe people give way too much credit to social media managers and accounts for the, behind the scenes knowledge that they might have about a team. So I wouldn't take that to the bank because those were the players that were on the graphic. They could have just been randomly chosen and selected. But I do think that's the best bet for the starting five. Now, what's interesting is how the rest of the rotation is filled out because I would expect Cunningham, Hull, Turner, and Colson to play. And, Colson maybe plays a little bit more than we figured because Clark will get spelled a bit more often this season, I would imagine. I also could see some Clark Colson two-guard lineups out there at times to let Clark play off the ball a little bit more, to let Colson apply defensive pressure. I think we've seen a lot of Brianna Turner working out with the team. I think her ability to set screens, hopefully catch and finish, could give her some minutes because Aaliyah Boston really the only kind of what you would consider a center on the squad at this moment. So I would expect Turner to be in the rotation. You have the Dantas as well. Dantas to me is more of a specific matchup kind of player. She spaces the floor well as a big and is a big body against teams where you have to match up size-wise, but she really doesn't get up and down the floor much or provide much beyond that, which I'm not saying is a negative. I just think she is a specific matchup kind of player. And then there's Lexi Hull, who was relied upon a little bit too much a season ago. Lexi's a little undersized to guard some of the players that she had to guard and would get in foul trouble. And when she got in foul trouble, it was really debilitating for the team. Now I think she can bring that energy all the time and not have to worry about the foul trouble because of the lineup versatility that they have. For Lexi, the key is, can she continue to hit at the clip from three that she did the second half of last season? And she's got to get better at finishing around the cup. I mean, that's an area of improvement. And then there is Sophie Cunningham, who I mentioned before, who I do think will be the first player off the bench because of all of the things she can bring to the team, where they can go small with her and spread the floor. I mean, you can go real small. You could play Howard at center and Cunningham at the four, something like that. Really space the floor out and give teams a different look. She can play a traditional spot on the wing, of course, and she has a little bit more, I think they're listed at the same height, but she has a little bit more length and size, I believe, than Lexi Hull. And that's, another shooter out on the floor. As far as what the Fever really needed last year, they got killed on the boards at times. They got killed defensively at times. They lacked a little bit of toughness and oomph. And I think, collectively, the new players fill that mold. I mean, they got players that have been around the block. Sophie is tough and tenacious. That Dewana Bonner has been in every situation imaginable, right? So all of that is huge. Same with Howard. that experience. That's something Sydney Colson talked about, who also has the experience. Everybody that's coming in is having the experience, and it's not often you see such a drastic overhaul for a team where by the end of last year, I basically said there were 4 reliable players in Clark, Mitchell, Boston, and Hull. Everybody around that has been reconfigured, and the coach. And, the coach has familiarity with Bonner. She also has familiarity with how to guard Caitlin Clark. I think you'll see Clark in motion more this year to free her up for cleaner looks. Clark's 3-point percentage was not probably where it needed to be. I think one way to get that up is to get her cleaner looks off the ball at times, though she should still have the ball the lion's share of the time. What they really did do is add those rim runners around her. Because Howard can run, catch, finish. Bonner can run, catch, finish. Turner, I think, can catch and finish off the screens in that action. So then you're going to have the other players battling for the final roster spot, and we'll see how that shakes out. But I do think that the main rotation will be Clark, Mitchell, Boston, Howard, Bonner, Cunningham, Colson, Turner, and Hull. And I think that's going to be the players that are on the floor each and every game. You might see Stephanie White experiment a little bit. And then, of course, when you have more weapons, a lot of people are worried. I don't think they have players who need the ball to score, but they have more players who can score, which is going to make it tougher to load up. It was already tougher to load up on Kelsey Mitchell last year because Caitlin Clark was there. And when Kelsey's able to get out in transition, she's so fast. And when she's able to take you one-on-one, there ain't much you can do. And then Clark, the same thing. What are you going to do now? You're going to have to pick your poison because you're going to send the whole defense at her again. Well, she's going to pick you apart. They have 5 players who were in the top 30 in scoring last year. And then if you don't, maybe Clark's scoring goes up without her shots having to go up because her percentages go up a little bit. And therefore, her totals go up. But anyhow, that's the way I look at the lineup and assess it. You can check out the article over on Indiana Fever on SI, the brand new Indiana Fever on SI. Let me know what you think. Give me your feedback and all of that. But that's how I have it looking and shaking out for the Fever. Coming, training camp is this month, the end of this month. And then the season, preseason game first, preseason game May 3rd, first regular season game May 17th. It's coming. It's around the corner. That Fever fix is on its way because it has been a minute.